Hello and welcome to episode 3 of the Vherbal and Watson Show.
Yay!
Can't believe we made it 3 whole episodes.
3!
Yeah.
Trace.
It's National Amaretto Garlic and Hangout Day.
National Amaretto and Garlic and Hangout Day!
Yeah.
Woo. Party.
So how's it going with you, buddy?
It sounds like a weird hangout. Like, hey, guy, let's hang out and let's do some, like, amaretto and garlic, like, infused type situations.
I don't think that combination works well.
It doesn't sound good. So, how have you been?
Busy.
Busy, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Busy like a bee.
Yes, working.
Well, that's cool. I haven't been that busy. I've been sitting on chairs randomly, sometimes changing positions.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty good at that.
So what do you have on your mind today, bud?
Well, I was thinking when we were at the this local establishment that this is another thing I wanted to address, and you had brought something up to me initially. I think that we need to talk about Walmart now.
It has the best deals around.
Yes, among other things. It's also very entertaining, so there's that.
Number 1 people watching place.
It's the best place. So, we were standing in line, and you said there was some really strange. She came in with us. Did you even notice that? By the way, she was right next to us, and I kept looking at her very oddly because she looked unkempt and kind of disgusting.
Well, first the posse. We should explain. It was her and her husband's father. I want to say because they looked the same.
I didn't see those people.
And they both had tucked-in T-shirts that said punk rock on them.
Oh.
And huge beer bellies.
Oh, yeah.
And then they went and sat in the Subway tables while she stood in line and paid for her stuff with us.
Okay.
And she's directly in front of me. And the back of her hair literally looked like a bird's nest. Like that, you know, that description of a joke, like her hair looked like a bird's nest.
Yeah.
Now, this one had eggs and shit in it. Like, it was fully mocked up. It was quite impressive. Anyways, she was standing there, and I heard her talking to the employee, the cashier guy, and she says, "My husband's been beating me."
Well,
he beats me all the time, she said.
What do you say to that? Like, as a...
And she's laughing, and then she is like, I don't know, it was just so disgusting and disturbing. And then she walked over to him with donuts and was like, "Here you go, husband. I love you." What
the heck do you say to that if you're the cashier? Like,
he seemed like he dealt with it on the regular.
Yeah. Move along, lady.
Mm-hmm.
Heard it before. Go to the Subway. Well, actually, I have a lot of very weird things here. Okay, so I'm cheap as shit. Not to the point where I wear like garbage clothes, like from the garbage or anything, but there's no part of me that's high fashion, and there's no part of me that really cares much about generally how I look, aside from trying to not look homeless. It's part of my life. I look every couple of weeks. I look in the mirror. I'm like, do I look homeless? And if the answer is no, then I'm doing all right. But comes to this, I don't have a high standard, so I tend to frequent the Walmart sometimes. Maybe not for like nothing fancy, but I'll get a zip up hoodie here and there. Like, oh, this random print and stripes and colors. This seems like it's something I would go with my pair of jeans I wear every day.
You like the shoes too, you said.
Oh yeah. Well, that's further along, but I had got to the point where I had accrued roughly 15 of these random colors and prints and stripes and these different zip up hoodies. They're all barely thicker than a t-shirt. They're not something that you would use to keep the warmth in, needless to say. But at one point I realized, after my little couple months of doing this, not really thinking much of it, I'm in Walmart, of course, and I go in there and I'm wearing my zip up hoodie.
Yeah.
And I'm going towards some other area, and I look and I see one guy. He's about 55, 60 years old. He's got the exact same hoodie I got on. Okay, I'm like, all right, well, yeah, no big deal. Take a few more steps. I see more of an East Sider, like ghetto guy. He had the same hoodie too. I realized at that point that I should probably stop, because during my 5 to 7 minute endeavor, I had seen roughly 12 people wearing the exact hoodie I had, which could come in. You have a lot of problems, with cops looking for assailants and stuff. The guy with the black, white, and gray striped zip-up hoodie.
Yeah.
Like, I'm lumped in with all these people now, and I'm starting to feel like I'm sheep or something. Like, we're all just wearing
the Walmart cattle.
We're all wearing the same clothes.
The herd.
I mean, I don't know. But, like, beyond that, I used to care about, like, my shoes even. Like, that was one thing I used to care about. I used to wear fancy shoes. I needed the new street thing, what's going in the streets. But eventually I realized as I'm getting older and more of a, I don't know, like a Nick Offerman type of character. That's why I look at aging like becoming more like that, like becoming like more like that guy. So now I'm at the point where I found this one pair of shoes. They're $16. They look decent. I got 9 pairs of them now. When they don't last that long, but you know what? They're $16, and when the sole starts falling off, just buy another pair. I mean, it's a good way to live.
It's like a sitcom outfit. It's just a reoccurring outfit.
It's the same shoes,
It's your uniform.
They're like, do you wear those shoes? No, they're different. These are new. They're the same exact thing, and you can count on them because of the mass production aspect. They're not gonna change up something that's working.
That brand actually used to be a name brand in the 80s.
Yes, it did. I remember.
It's funny.
What was it? Ocean
OP.
Pacific?
Yeah, OP.
Oh, yeah.
And then the Airwalk was big, and now they're lower. Starter was huge, and now they're lesser. It just goes, it's still the same quality. Yep. It just keeps going.
It's exactly what happens. They get, they basically, like a guy, like a real shady guy comes to your company. He's like, hey.
Yeah, because, Jordache, I saw, they were huge in the 80s and then took a big dip in the 90s, but now they're high again, like higher end.
Starter, Adidas is all up in Walmart now.
Yep.
OP.
Yep. I think a lot of that has to do with being so many different manufacturers now that those companies, even though they're not lesser companies, they'll do anything to get themselves in a store. That's why a lot of companies will be like Kmart exclusive, I
always pick it up as like there's like a Al Pacino type like devil character that comes up to him like, hey, do you want your stuff in Walmart? It's like signing your life over. You will get 1.2% of sales, but you'll sell 500 billion of each thing. They're like, what? There was actually a point where they had these exact shoes with Starter logo on them. Yeah. It was just the same exact shoes. They just changed the logo, and they were in at the store at the same time. I was like, what's the difference between these? And it's just the logo. But
Well, that style is an Airwalk style originally.
Yeah, it's like,
or a Duff's or Etnies.
It's an early, it goes with my, like I said, I had this girl tell me I dress like a 16-year-old, and I'm like a guy that dresses like he might have skated one point in his life. But you're not really sure. But then you look closer and you're like, oh, those are Walmart shoes.
Oh.
But
if Walmart would have had shoes like that back in the day, a lot of people, skaters, would have worn.
Yeah,
they
got Shaqs there, dude.
Well, being a skater, we would tear through our shoes in 3 weeks. It'd be completely destroyed.
Yeah, these wouldn't hold up well.
No, but the price is worth it though, because we were spending $60 on triple stitching shoes that would be gone in a week or two.
The price of admission.
Yeah.
I was actually, another thing I thought was funny is being in a store like this. I know that you've shopped there quite a bit too, because we are in the same situations now. There could be with so many different things in the store. I've had some of it happen, but just imagine some of the combinations of things. Okay, say you're going into the 20 or less line or 10 or whatever, and the weird little things like that you could have that could just connect, and people would just assume that you're really strange or you're going for a really strange night.
Oh yeah.
Like you could buy a shovel and some salt and then like some rope. People are like, what? Who did he kill? Just mixtures of things, like funny hypothetical mixtures would be like
well, the real thing, when I went in the one night, I got a Batman shower mat, a box of peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, and an energy drink. It's like, what's he doing?
I know, like,
I'm going to have a crazy night.
That kind of shit happens all the time. It's like, I'm thinking, like, hypothetical, like, what would be some of the weirdest ones? Like, you could have, like, some flowers, like, it'll be like flowers and then
nails.
nails. Flowers and nails and duct tape and a t-shirt.
Cat food, tampons, and a hammer.
Yeah. You're just like, what is this? Like, but you don't really. It happens though, just because of the strange thing. You go in there and you're like, I need to get some cat food. Next thing you know, you got some chicks. You're like, give me some tampons.
I think the scariest combination would be like if you were to buy a shotgun, hacksaw, garbage bags, and duct tape.
But then,
but you're allowed to. There's nothing that would stop.
There's no rules on the combinations of things you can buy. Now that I guess they try not to put things in there that you could make bombs out of.
That would be fun though, to go in there and have a startling grocery list. Like, I'm gonna get 3 Rubbermaid containers, the big ones. Boric acid.
Yes, the boric acid.
Shotgun. Duct tape. What else? Garbage bags.
And a box of chocolates.
We don't need garbage bags.
A box of chocolates and a thank you card.
Yeah, card. Missing you.
Missing you.
Yeah.
Oh.
A missing you card.
Missing you. See, that's why Walmart. I feel like, I don't know why it hasn't been done, but I had this idea in my head.
It'd be even better to go to a female cashier.
Yeah.
And have a blank piece of paper, notebook paper, and just tell her, sign your name down. Sign this name down here, very pretty, like a girl's signature. I'm gonna fill out the rest. You just need to have the girl's signature.
Oh my goodness! They'd be like, give me 70 cents, and she'd probably do it.
Ask the cashier on a date while you're buying that stuff.
Yeah.
My girlfriend just dumped me.
Yeah.
Things didn't work out.
Aw.
Yeah.
You can. They're all game. If they're at Walmart, usually if they're at the cash register, I should say, they're game. They're ready to rock, and it doesn't matter. They might have a ring, and they're like, you're hitting on them. They're like, where do you work? You're like, not Walmart, baby. They're like, I'm taking off. I there's some other funny things that I like to do in Walmart. If I'm with somebody, say a chick or something, I like to do this about everywhere, but just be normal and not talking, nothing. You're just strolling with your cart and stuff. And then you come to a new aisle, and then you just leave the cart rolling, and then you turn down the aisle, and then the girl that's walking with you is responsible for the cart. I call that ghost riding the cart.
I never did that.
It's very fun. I do it, and then once you've done it once, you're like, oh no, I'm sorry. You just keep doing it. They're always stop it, please. It's so embarrassing. One time I did it, it crashed into a thing of canned kidney beans or something. It was so fun to me.
Going into those grocery stores now, I hate those little carts, the 2-tiered ones.
They make me feel strange.
Yeah, me too. I feel
like a retard.
Weirdo. Yeah,
I'm on the short
look
bus.
At me. I got 2 baskets basically.
Yeah, I'm here to get a potato and a head of lettuce.
Yeah.
I get them all the time just because it's different. But then I realize afterwards, I'm like, I shouldn't have done this.
It's like driving a smart car.
It's just like when you go to Walmart and you get the freaking hand thing and you're like, oh, yeah, no. Just that's all. Next thing you know, you got freaking... It weighs 300 pounds. You're carrying dragging shit. I need this. I need this indoor bowling alley.
Makes me look manly. I can carry this whole basket.
Yeah, you see that? Full of weights and boric acid.
Mm-hmm.
Boric acid, brought to you by Ferguson Laboratories. But, ghost riding the cart's pretty fun. Everybody should try it. It's very, very fun. It's a nice thing to do. Also, when those bouncy balls, never bought one. I just grab them. The ones that say they bounce 7,000 feet in the air and they never come back. I just walk around with it the whole time, bouncing it and throwing it. And then sometimes I'll see a long aisle, and I'll just roll it from all the way to the back of the store to the front. Just see it's bowling. Try to bowl into the employees. Maybe they'll fall, but
that's funny.
I'm on camera, so.
What's another weird thing about Walmart is it's the only store that you can go into that has wildlife in it. The birds flying around on top and shit.
Yeah.
It's very strange. They'll be dipping in and out of the aisles. Now, if they shit on the merchandise.
I've seen bats.
Now, if you shit on the merchandise,
Is it cheaper?
Well, I don't know. If we get sick or something, do they have to? Are they accountable for that?
Walmart has like probably 7,000 lawyers working for them, so they don't care, and they're just like, "Here's a gift card."
True.
And you'll be happy, and you'll walk away like. I guess a good example of just the extent of how trivial like Walmart thinks we are. They think our country is that way. Every 4th of July, I try to get an American like thing, like something American, like a shirt or something.
Oh yeah.
And it started in 2010 roughly. I was like, you know what, I'm going to show my patriotism and buy a Walmart America shirt. But this is how lowly they think about America. For one, the blank red shirt costs more than the one with the American flag printed on it.
That's funny. And they're made in China too.
Yes, and they're made in China. And this is now going on 5 years. We'll see what happens this year. 4 years. I got one of each year, and I got even 2 different colors. They just have an American flag, and then say 2010 next year. Same thing, exact flag. 2011 next year. I keep buying them. They're $3, so I'm gonna keep building my collection, even though they could easily be duplicated via screen printing. But it means something to me. And every year, it's a different company shirts too. It's like printing, like. I think that's ridiculous. That's what Walmart thinks about us. The blank red shirts cost more than the ones with the American flag on them.
Well, you can wear those on more than just one day.
Well, I guess that's their thought, but they're putting money into the screen printing process, and they're like, what are we going to do with all these bullshit American flag shirts? Grind them up, make them cat food.
They might just get resurfaced every year with a new year put on them.
I don't know. I mean, you can wash out the silk screening. I'm pretty sure, but
have you ever wondered what happens to the sports championship clothing that when they win the Super Bowl?
We know where it goes. It goes to foreign countries,
and
it's always funny. Like, it's like 1996.
I would love to have the full Buffalo Bills championship collection.
Oh yes, there's somebody that has it down in like Nicaragua or something.
That would be amazing. Jim Kelly is the Super Bowl champion every year.
Jim Kelly, number 1.
Thurman Thomas, Don Beebe.
First ballot Hall of Fame.
Oh, my God.
They won 4 Super Bowls.
Mm-hmm.
What? No, they did not. They still can't. They could barely make the playoffs nowadays. Hey, they're...
So down there, they've never heard of Montana or Marino.
No, they're just like, they're scrubs.
Yeah, they've never won. They're there all the time, but keep losing.
Bills win every time.
Oh my God, that'd be great.
But what can you do? They're just happy to have shirts. I don't have to wear leaves as clothing.
I wonder if they come up on eBay if eBay takes that shit down immediately. Because I've never seen it.
What is it? A conspiracy? No, they happened. The companies, they print up these. They mass produce them right before the things happen. Then there's literally like couple thousand of each that are done. I would hope they wouldn't do like 50,000, but they probably do.
I think
quite
they
a
do
bit.
enough just for the teams and like the stuff like that.
Well, they do sell, if you think about it, they do have those ads. They're like, buy your New England Patriots sweatshirts now.
Yeah.
And it's instantaneous. Like, oh, okay, they're available. Let's go.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
It's not that crazy, but it's funny to think there is people wearing those things, and they're oblivious to the actual history of sports. What about political campaigns? There's somebody out there that thinks like Ross Perot won.
Well, I had the Jesse Jackson presidential buttons for a long time, like his winning ones. I found those at an antique store. Those are pretty interesting. And then like McGovern, when he lost, they had him winning.
Who he is.
Yeah, he got murdered in the 60s. I think he was going up against Nixon.
Only things that stick out in my head is Bob Dole. Bob Dole does not like Bob Dole.
McCain.
Yahoo! I was locked in a cage. No, that wasn't him. That wasn't Bob Dole. McCain wasn't the Scream. That was the other guy that was running that got kicked off before he didn't make it to the Republican.
No, it was McCain.
No, it wasn't. Look it up. It wasn't. It was a totally different guy. And he was doing really good until he did that and he fell off. He started ranting on that, remember? McCain went all the way, dude. It was McCain, versus Obama on the first election. He made it through the primaries. It was the guy that didn't make it. And it was a weird noise he made. What was it? What the hell was the noise? Oh, crap. We're going to Ohio. We're going to woo! Or something like that.
Howard Dean.
Howard Dean. See, I win. And he was a Democrat, wasn't he?
I'm not sure.
I think he was a Democrat. There it is. A flashback into the history of America. Greatest speeches ever.
Well, you guys, you have already got the picture here.
How long is this?
A minute.
I was about to
we'll
say,
let him have it.
I'm sure there's some disappointed people here. You know what? You know something?
You're how happy he is?
You know
He's
something?
doing really well at this point.
If you had told us 1 year ago that we were going to come in third in Iowa, we would have given anything for that. And you know something? You know something? Not only are we going to New Hampshire, Tom Harkin, we're going to South Carolina and Oklahoma and Arizona and North Dakota and New Mexico. We're going to California and Texas and New York. And we're going to South Dakota and Oregon and Washington and Michigan. And then we're going to Washington, D.C. to take back the White House.
That was amazing.
It's one of the best speeches in history. Yeah! It was a mix between a cowboy and like a fucking karate move. Like
I forgot, yeah. I could have sworn that was McCain, but good call. Good pull.
I know that crap. I'm supposed to stay up on those things because I'm an artist. But anyways, McCain was the guy that was like, I picture McCain like in a cage and like, they're poking him and he's like, I want to be president. I want to be president one day. He can't put his arms above his head either. He would be like, we said he couldn't, McCain, he can't even raise the roof. MC Kane was our thing.
That should have been his talking point. He will not raise taxes. He cannot even raise the roof.
There we go. See, that was perfect. I'm glad you brought up Howard Dean. That was such a funny point of American history.
America.
Where is he now?
Yep.
He's working on his new speech. What is his next song going to be like? Boom!
The sad American deposit of old times. What do we got? We got the Walmart shirts that change every year.
Yes.
The bad football teams
Yes.
and sports championships and the political candidates that fell by the wayside.
Poor people. The worst part about it is they put all their money into it and they're like, I'm going to be the president. I'm going to not really change. See, the whole thing is they just it's a popularity contest. They're like, I want to be that guy that people hate or love.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. They come in there and they're like, free laptops for everyone. Weed's going to be legal. We're going to give out free money. Babies will be prettier. Everyone gets a free pizza. They're like, vote for me.
I like that though.
The next time, then he gets elected and they're like, what happened to the free pizza? And he's like, I don't know what you're talking about.
I forgot to ask Congress if that was
This
okay
bill-
before you voted me.
I put on this bill and it raises taxes on pizza.
Oh, man.
Well, on that note, I think we should take a break and give you a breather to research some of the facts that we just spewed. Nothing is more patriotic than a false sense of accomplishment. We won Vietnam. Bill Clinton did not have sexual relations with that woman. We found the weapons of mass destruction. Congratulations, you're all winners. Thanks to America in Peril and Imagination Champions, you can continue your life in denial. Buffalo Bill Championship fitteds, we got them.
Mark Kelso.
Chicago Cub pennants, we printed millions of them.
Pre-steroid Sammy Sosa.
It doesn't matter because time is an illusion and your life is meaningless. Can't pick between your two favorite teams?
Can they both win?
Yes, they can.
Can every team in the NFL be on the same team?
What?
Can we set them all on fire?
No!
Can Brian Bosworth be on the Yankees?
Of course he can.
Is Deion Sanders always on time?
Of course he is.
Where's Jay Ferguson? Welcome back.
Whoa!
After that short intermission.
Short intermission.
Yep. Anyways, this week there's been a lot of weird shit in the headline news. Everything from the Aaron Hernandez trying to be OJ.
He is not OJ.
Not ever going to be.
You
Pete,
ain't OJ.
but neither one of them are Pete Rose after all.
Yeah, Pete Rose is actually awesome.
King of the criminal athletes.
I wonder how much money he made. That's one thing.
And then there's this other crazy story out of Washington, the Washington State Highway B disaster.
Yeah. Well, it just so happens to, I'm very afraid of bees. Deathly.
And allergic.
Yeah, I'm well,
that's the only reason.
Well, yeah. Well, yeah. Well, I guess we'll never know. But the fact that I might die if I get stung by a lot of bees, that kind of scares me, and it makes me not like being around them and generally their presence. But anyways, apparently a semi-truck full of bees just crashed on the Washington State Highway and made it so took up a roughly the size of a football field, so to the point where you couldn't even see it, like your hand in front of your face. And they were transporting these bees in just open crates, wooden crates.
You would think they'd be in locked metal containers, and
they just put them
welded
in boxes.
Shut.
They essentially just put them in cardboard boxes and just like not even closing the top and just said, "Hey, bees."
Yeah, I would actually just make sure the tractor trailer itself was welded shut so you couldn't even break it open.
I think I don't. It doesn't seem as well thought out, and just the idea itself to transport like a state full of bees to somewhere else.
So did it say if they tried to rescue the bees or did they kill them all?
They attempted to salvage some of the menacing, terrible bees that were causing issues, and even the reporters that were trying to report on the situation from roughly a quarter mile away were getting eaten up by the rampant army of militant honeybees. But anyways, it's pretty stupid in itself to why are they transporting so many bees? Why isn't there better precautions being taken? I mean, other people like you don't care. You wouldn't care less. You'd probably run through the bees if I gave you like $50.
Yeah, I wouldn't care.
Yeah, but me, it's like it's death. It's like
I get like a fiery rope and just run through and whipping it around.
A fiery rope.
Yes, take them all down.
You saw like a Roman god with this fiery rope. He slayed the bees.
I would.
Well,
get a net just filled with fire.
A net full of fire.
Yes.
Well, either way, the bees. I'm assuming they didn't be able to rescue a lot of them. I mean, how do you rescue bees? Like, come here, bees. Come here. They don't come. They don't have like a call, like you whistle and the bees come. Because if they did, that would suck. But there was more things. There was the another weird thing I saw in the news situation is, Groundhog Day,
the movie.
Well, yeah, the movie and the actual event, the day, and all those things.
Bill Murray is one of the best actors ever.
I mean, he made that movie even good. I mean, if you put like fucking Vin Diesel in that movie, it would be very strange.
I know. Have you seen
Where's this fucking groundhog?
The Wes Anderson's movies are amazing.
Yeah,
one of the best reasons is the Bill Murray connection there. It's like a muse for him almost.
Definitely, it's
Life Aquatic. Is so good.
Yeah, it's. I definitely enjoy all of the Wes Anderson stuff, and Bill Murray's hilarious. But we have our whole little Groundhog Day thing, and
Punxsutawney Phil.
Yeah,
there's another one too.
I don't know what it is.
That one guy dropped him this year, and they ended up dying. Or was it last year?
He died.
One of the groundhogs did. He just dropped him right to the ground.
Did he not like his announcement?
I think he got bit, the guy, and then just dropped him.
It's about time. You're playing with nature, Well, basically, we try to judge how basically natural events are going to occur based on this ridiculous thing, and apparently in Switzerland they have a similar thing they do where they build a snowman out of the remaining snow, and they fill the snowman with explosives and light it on fire. And if the snowman's head explodes within 12 minutes, the summer will be warm and sunny.
Wow.
So
how did it go?
Actually, it exploded before 12 minutes this year.
It probably does every year, you'd imagine.
Well, you would think. And plus, what is the back end of that? If it doesn't happen, the summer will be cold and rainy. Yeah. That doesn't happen like that.
It'll only be mildly warm.
Just mildly warm and sunny. Oh, you son of a bitch, snowman, you fuck. See, they actually physically, they hate the snow and the cold so much they had to have a physical thing so that they could explode blow up the snowman. Which that sounds way cooler than ours.
In the
I
summertime,
gotta admit.
they should actually build a snowman in the summertime.
Yes.
You know, like get snow made inside somewhere. Come out and build a snowman, and if the head melts within 12 minutes, then it will be a mild winter.
Yeah, but that isn't gonna attract they probably have like crowds of drunken people. They're like, yeah,
Blow it up,
blow it up,
fucking
man.
snowman. Fuck you,
Fuck you. We ate the fucking snow. I thought that was pretty intriguing, weird news. Like,
cold ass motherfucker.
I don't have a problem with Switzerland. They're pretty awesome, but aside, I mean, that kind of that's cool to me. I mean, America, if we did that, that'd be cooler. I'd go.
Yeah,
I would go to these events. I'd be like, fuck that snowman. We'd be having like Walmart made fucking anti-snowman shirts. It would be, and it would say it would have a different year.
a lot of the things that the cultural things that they do in other countries are so different around Christmas time and around all the holidays and stuff.
It makes us seem like
Krampus and Black Pete and all that
there's
stuff.
There's very strange traditions around the world. But
You're not good. We're gonna take you to hell, child.
I guess on the other side of it, like they probably think the same about us. They're like, what the fuck is this shit about this Easter bunny? Like a bunny
that lays eggs.
A murderous bunny? You hear what bunnies do? They're murderous. they probably have like the bunny symbolizes Satan in their country, and they have the gift to their children. What does this mean?
That was the end villain in Monty Python and the Holy Grail.
It was a bunny.
Remember?
An Easter rabbit. Oh yeah, it was.
The bunny attacked everyone.
Shit.
He was guarding the cave.
That's fucking weird. Well, there was one other funny thing of news that I saw. This is America for you. This is our country, and this is a lot of America heavy episode. We're gonna roll it like that. It's not necessarily pro. It's not negative. It's just we're just stating the facts.
We should play a subtle American theme over this whole episode in the background.
very, 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 and then have it weird. Like we'll make it distorted or something.
The national anthem.
Apparently, this is the kind of criminals that we have in America. There's a murderer. His name was Nikko Jenkins. And in attempts to be declared incompetent to stand trial, he carved 666 in his forehead.
Okay.
But yet did it looking in the mirror.
So it said.
So it ended up being 999. The self-inflicted wounds that he put on his head. He claims he acts under the commands of a serpent god. Psychiatrists conclude he is not insane, but merely moronic.
That's funny.
That's America.
I recently heard about this one guy. He pooped in his pants at the one hearing.
Yeah.
And he didn't get off, or whatever, for craziness. But then another guy, like a week later, did the same thing, but this time he ate his own poop.
Oh.
And they're
up
doing
the
that.
ante.
Yeah, he got off, though.
That's a big thing people are doing. Like, they try to get declared incompetent. And apparently this guy, this isn't the first time, because he's on trial for murdering 4 people. So he'll do whatever the fuck it takes. But the first time, I guess it wasn't enough. Like, he just, scratched himself up and was, acting weird. And they're like, oh, you're fine. This time he tried to carve something in his... It wasn't even small. It was big. It was, huge. And it looked like he was, on sale, $9.99.
But that would, if it was backwards, it wouldn't even be anything.
It looks like $9.99. It's more like bees. It looked really funny. And
Jeez.
He called, and then he called the judge afterwards after they declared that he wasn't crazy, and he was trying to convince him that he was where the whole serpent god thing comes in.
Jeez.
I'm under the spell of a serpent god. But either way, I thought that was a good summary of the criminal natures of America and how we are. We'll commit the crime, then do everything we can to get away. Aaron Hernandez, I mean, it's blatant. I mean, he got accused of all of this, and all this happened, and he got actually sentenced for first-degree murder with no murder weapon and all these things. One of the biggest reasons why is because the same gun was at another murder trial that he's on. He's got another, by the way, he has another one. There's another murder trial of 2 more people that he's involved in that he supposedly killed.
Well, he's already in for life, so.
Yeah, they hate him. Basically, he made such a bad impression initially they said that right when he came into the court, he had a swagger about him. What the fuck? Who has a swagger about them coming to a murder trial? Like,
he did think that he wasn't going to get in trouble, though.
Because there wasn't a murder weapon. But you don't need a murder weapon. When it's a heinous crime, you decide. This jury literally he kind of hated him so much, and they had enough evidence, so they just said, hey, we don't need a murder weapon. You're going to freaking prison. And, there's all the Madden covers surfaced with him on the cover of Madden, like 25 to life, Madden 25 to life. Him hold the gun and, in bad taste, but still fun. The Patriots don't need him anyways. They got Gronk. He parties harder anyways, and he don't need no guns. Anyways, well, on that note, we will get a word from our sponsors. Hey, I'm Jim Kelly, the white football player, here for Imagination Champions. After losing 4 consecutive Super Bowl championships, I started to feel like I wasn't a winner, and my heart just wasn't in it. I thought to myself, I have infinite funds and the ability to change the course of history. I bought myself them championship trophies and 10 championship rings, and now I'm a champion, and no one can tell me different. I am gonna be a hero after all. Ferguson's imaginary champion. I am gonna be a hero after all. Ferguson's imaginary champion. Imaginary champion. And we're back. Hey, I'm here with. Oh yeah, you know who I'm here with. This is our show. So we're gonna have a little discussion here about sports, and because it's an America heavy episode.
Yes, and nothing is more American than sports.
Sports,
rivalry, competitive nature,
pointless competition.
Yes,
that leads to bloodshed and tears.
Yeah, but I was actually talking to Kevin the other day about this, and this struck me as interesting. The number 23 and what it represents and how important something like that could be.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Because I didn't realize that LeBron actually had 23, because my sports ended the year that Michael Jordan left the Bulls. Basically.
There's no even Wizards in there.
I saw a little bit of it, but I fell off
Blocked
so hard.
It out a
yeah.
little.
And, to me, growing up, sports was Michael Jordan, Emmett Smith of the Dallas Cowboys, Jerry Rice, Barry Sanders, amazing players. In baseball, we had Ken Griffey Jr. before he fell apart and went to the Reds.
He wasn't junior anymore. He became senior.
Yeah, and people like Frank Thomas of the White Sox, David Justice, like Mark McGuire before the roids.
Is it just me, or do those names sound way more badass than the new ones? Or is it just instilled in our minds?
Nolan Ryan, Roger Clemens.
They sound like fake characters.
Don Mattingly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, these are stars, dude. And hockey even had Wayne Gretzky, Brett Hull, Mario Lemieux, and somehow Yager's still playing, but I don't
understand.
He's a machine.
He's a fucking cyborg.
Yes, it is like Jean-Claude back in the day, and now he's making Cyborg again. He's still in it. He looks all weathered. How's he still going?
Hey, you saw the movie Face Off.
Terminator.
Maybe he just put his face on somebody else.
I mean, Peter Forsberg, Eric Lindros.
Forsberg, you really put him up there with those people?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, he was good, but...
When I saw him play for Sweden and those teams, I was following...
I didn't pay attention.
I was so into sports that I followed college, minor league, international sports, American sports, everything, and I loved it. Because everybody had, had spirit and heart. And everybody, they cared about the game. Money was not an issue. The celebrity was not. Sports stars were not celebrities.
It was, it was different.
They were sports heroes.
There was a few, sports heroes.
I mean, they had cartoons called Pro Stars with Wayne Gretzky, Bo Jackson, and Michael Jordan.
Wonderful.
They're gonna save the day. They're superheroes.
Yeah, they weren't like.
Now you got Aaron Hernandez and Michael Vick on trial.
Yep.
It's like, oh yeah, I'm in love with these guys.
I mean, Jordan got caught gambling, and it was just forgotten about in 2 days.
And I think a lot of it too, back in the day, the teams, the stars stayed on their teams respectively. Like Karl Malone and Stockton never left Utah.
Yeah.
No matter how much,
even though it's a terrible place to be.
Yeah, they could have went to the Bulls probably and said, you know what, I'm not going to sign this year. I'm going to go somewhere for way less, to be a championship.
At the end of Malone's career, he did try to piggytail on a Lakers team. If you forgot about that, when he was like 47.
I think a lot of them do that though.
Gary Payton did.
Look at
too.
Garnett. He left.
Well, he went back to go. Well, he's back in the Timberwolves now. By the way,
like Duncan is one of the few heroes of sports still to me. Tim Duncan.
Yeah,
he is still very old school and cool.
I mean, it was a huge thing. You know, we're the same age essentially, and we were brought up in the same thing, and it was beyond even the sports. You know, you had the actual games, you had the cards, you had the collecting the cards.
Then they were in movies. You'd see them in starring roles. Like Shaq would be in Kazam and Blue Chips and Jordan's Space Jam, and all this stuff. You know, they were a part of the ether, and they were part of your life.
You collected cards too, didn't you?
Oh, obsessively. Yeah, I had so many.
You had ridiculous amounts. Like
yes, the long boxes.
I feel like there was a lot of us during
3,600 per box. Yeah, you know, like
we talk about the good old days with the cards that we used to have. Like my claim to fame was my Reggie Jackson rookie, my Sandy Koufax.
You know what's funny?
My collection of Jordans.
I collected cards. I was kind of a card snob. You could tell someone's wealth factor or how well they were doing in society by what companies they had.
Exactly.
Like I had Upper Deck and like Fleer Ultra and the really high end cards.
Well, it was more about the cards themselves, because the kids would be like coming through like, I got these commons from 1983.
Yeah, but you had to spend the money to get the good cards a lot of times. You know, and you weren't going to get that out of the Topps pack with the piece of gum in it.
Well, sometimes you could get good cards in them.
I would only buy the full sets of those after the fact. And I would buy the cases of cards, you know. So I'd go in there with like 2 Michael Jordan hardwood leaders worth $80 a piece and trade them in and say, just give me a whole box of the Upper Deck SPs, you know. And I'd stand there at the counter opening it, and I would sell all the good cards back to the store that I didn't need, and then walk out with like $50 and a whole bunch of new cards. I would do that endlessly. I actually remembered when I was about 11, I worked at a baseball card shop, and how it all started is right after the San Diego Chargers won the Super Bowl, Natron Means, I had his fancy rookie card, and it was worth tons of money then. And Bledsoe was that year too, and Rick Meyer. That was a good year.
You know what I did with that Natron Means card, by the way? Best trade in history, and this was with the card shop owner. This is why he hired me there at 11 years old or something. I traded him a Natron Means card and then some other trendy person for a Jerry Rice rookie, and then like 10 packs of this one, and I ended up getting a Grant Hill Magic's All Rookie team and a something else. Like I ended up getting total about $900 worth of cards for this Natron Means rookie, and the guy was like, I just like put him out of business because card shops don't make tons of money. So I was basically just hanging out with him, and that was when Pogs were big. Remember Pogs?
Oh yeah.
What the fuck are Pogs?
Milk caps.
What the hell was the point of that?
I actually had original ones of those. When my mom dated Jeff Bible down in Akron, Ohio, we went to a family dinner down there, and we went in the basement, and he had a whole bag of these old milk caps. So when I started,
so they were a real thing.
Yeah, they were actually milk caps from under the milk that would be delivered to your house, and the kids would play for them.
Huh?
That was just a game. That. Yeah.
Well, I guess the idea here is like the allure of sports. How it was then. It was basically players were like shrouded in mystery. They were like superheroes to us, and that's kind of the ideology between us. Like there's just about any kid moderately athletically inclined at all would have a dream at some point of being a pro athlete. And you would, even if it was just for a second, you would go and you would try and you would be like, I'm going to be amazing. Maybe you have memories of you being great. Oh, yeah. You probably weren't that good, but just like me,
everybody believed that they could.
Yeah,
do
like
it.
I could see. It's like the Matrix.
It didn't help though the fact that when I was in 5th grade, like I knew I was good, but I tried out for the basketball team, in 5th grade, and it was a 6th grade team, and we had so many kids they had to split it into an A and B team, and I made the A team as a 5th grader.
Oh shit!
So my ego was like through the roof immediately, like.
I got this.
Yeah, it really, but I was like Mr. Hustle though, Charlie Hustle on the court, I could get, for some reason I was short, but I could get rebounds over big guys.
You had ups, man.
I just was crazy.
You had crazy hops.
Even in all sports, I was never an offensive player more than a defensive player. Like even in soccer, I played defense. I could score and shit, and I was fast, but no one could get around me.
I'm not even going to talk about that stuff right now because we're going to have my buddy on in a few episodes, and we'll probably talk about the rekindling my glory days as an athlete. So I don't want to go further into it. But the idea is, it's like crazy. And you compare it to now, and it's almost like these people, as good as they are, as good as they might be better than those people. It's just the fact that we know too much about them, and like there's too much media coverage and social media and all these things that we'll never ever feel the same about LeBron James as we did about Michael Jordan. LeBron James could average a 40-point triple-double the rest of his career and win every championship.
But it just doesn't seem as impressive.
It doesn't.
Because these guys nowadays, it seems like besides those few stars on the court, they're all schmucks. It seems like back in the day, the worst players would have been stars nowadays.
Yeah. Just like the Eastern, somebody just said like the Eastern Conference is like, the bottom teams are like all D-League guys.
Like, yeah, you can imagine though, like, okay, LeBron's great, right? I mean, I'm not saying he would have been a star back then just like he is now. But imagine if Jordan at his prime got dropped in the league right now.
I mean,
it would be insane. He'd be scoring Wilt Chamberlain numbers.
Especially how they protect offensive players.
Yeah, or imagine Shaq and his prime. He would, oh my God.
Yeah, he would kill it.
It would be insane, dude.
We're not talking Shaq on the Cavs. We're talking
Orlando
Shaq,
Magic.
Orlando.
Yeah.
That awesome Orlando team that even beat Michael.
He would tear down every hoop as soon as he got up there. They had to change how they put him in because of him.
They did. I think he tore down roughly 13 hoops in his NBA and college career.
Yeah, but back then, I mean, every team had a star back then, too. Like you had Dominique Wilkins on the Hawks. Utah had their 2 prize possessions. Reggie Miller was on the Pacers. I mean, Cavs had...
It's not every team.
A lot
of them.
They all had an all-star.
It was spread out.
Brad Daughtry. Even some of the Clippers players were good.
Yeah. Even some of the Clippers players.
The Kings had Wayman Tisdale at one point, and then they...
Chris Webber.
And then that other guy...
Divac.
I'm saying the worst teams had great players back then.
Yeah.
Nowadays, all the great players go to one team and they try to,
Well, maybe that attributes to the way that we feel about it. The lack of parity between the teams that are good and bad.
And what another perfect example is, this might not be true. It's just a speculation, but you know how they say kids are lazy. All they do is sit around playing video games nowadays. That's just because the sports stars are such schmucks and bums. They can't keep the kids' attention enough to actually make them want to watch the sports.
Jordan's first 4 or 5 years of the league, he lived in a tiny little apartment in like New York or something, or Chicago. I don't remember where it was in Chicago. Yeah, he had this tiny apartment, and he was barely there. He had nothing. He was making so much money, and all he did was lift weights and shoot hoops. That's all he did. I mean, nowadays, is probably like the best players. They're probably let me check with my manager, my PR guy. What all do we got to do? We got to make appearance here. We got to do this. I mean, when am I get the time to practice? When do I, without the team, on my own? Those types of things. And, the amount of money in itself is just ridiculous. Like right now, okay, the salary cap is pretty damn high. This is like, there's actually rules on like some other sports where there is no real cap. But this, as of right now, next year the salary cap is going to go to $67 million per team, and then 81 before where you get luxury tax assessed to you, where you have to pay a fee essentially. That's the highest amount. There's no limit to how much your team can cost, but when you're beyond that point, you have to pay a fine basically to the league. As of then, it's going to be 67, but in the year 17-18, it's going to 108. 127 before at luxury tax. What that means is there's going to be players probably making $40 million a year to play 82 games of basketball.
Jeez.
And then they're even talking about reducing the amount of games. Like, this is insane. $40 million a year? I don't care how good you are. I mean, I'm not mistaken. If I'm not mistaken, Jordan did have $26, $27 million years. The last 2 years of his contract, when Jerry Krause trying to get him come back for the last 2 years. He got $50 million or something for 2 years, which was by far the most money anybody had made until Shaq got his contract, which was 10 years, $120 million. And then he left. Oh, that was this Lakers contract. But anyways, now this all kind of sounds crazy to me because not only are the players to me don't seem as skilled as we both just addressed. We don't know if it's just the perception we have of them, or is it really, are they just not as blue collar as they used to be? There's not as many badasses.
They're entitled.
Dude, there's not really any real centers, any true centers in the NBA. There's only one, DeMarcus Cousins, and maybe that Mozgov guy, but he's not even that good. So we got dudes making up to $40 million a year coming up. Now, I don't know if you watched any soccer recently. Like, did you watch the World Cup at all?
A little bit.
Did you notice anything different about soccer?
Like how?
Did you notice that 25% of the players all just fall down?
Oh, yeah.
Constantly and
act
like they're hurt?
Yeah.
Okay, it's ridiculous. It's almost like a quarter of the game, dudes acting like they got hurt, and it's almost the equivalent of the NBA now. That's what we're doing. Like, every time a guy goes to the rack, goes to go and get a layup, like LeBron, run full speed with his 3.940 and fucking 280, just running like a bull in a china shop, just running at the hoop and throw it up. And every time he misses, he's like, "What? Oh, he punched me in the face!" Every play, and then he misses the freaking layup. Other team gets the rebound, throws it down. He's still sitting at the other end, fucking complaining to the ref, like, "He fucking touched my eyelash." And they're fucking throwing alley-oops down there. It's like half the game. And LeBron's the best player in the game, and he even does it. Everybody does it.
That falls on the coach, though.
It isn't even about the coach. It's about it needs to be a fucking technical foul for complaining.
Oh, I agree, but if the coach, back in the day, I think those coaches would walk right up to LeBron and smack him in the fucking mouth.
What the fuck?
You know what I mean? Now they're walking on eggshells like, "Oh, we got to make sure he's happy because I'm going to
he'll get him fired."
Yeah.
Especially a player like LeBron.
And I think that has a lot to do with it. I think that these player coaches that they have is a bad idea.
LeBron calling the plays.
Yeah, because what player is going to look up to a coach that is not as good as a player as him?
Well,
like, I'm LeBron. I'm going to go listen to Danny Ainge or fucking
David Blatt is the coach. But
is he a player?
He played at Princeton in this early 80s.
Jesus. No, they need to get those rude, crude old fucks that just are like, not going to take shit. Like, I would have every coach be like a drill sergeant, for real, like a Marine, ex-Marine.
It was something. Okay, did you see last year when during the playoffs that the guy that what did he do? Blew into LeBron's ear. He was just like, he was trying to irritate him. He was sitting in there and he was covering him, and he got real close to him, and the cameras were zoomed in, and he was like, LeBron looked at him like this, like, "What are you doing?" The guy's name was Lance Stevenson, by the way, who was a number one guy coming out of high school, but then he got in trouble because he pushed his girlfriend at the time. He was being filmed for this HBO special because he was supposed to be the next big thing.
Yeah. And
he pushed his girlfriend down the stairs while she was pregnant on the film.
Oh my God. This is a good idea.
Then he ended up going to Marquette or something. Things didn't work out. But, he was on the Pacers last year. Okay, so this is a big thing because he actually did good on LeBron, aside from blowing in his ear and being semi-fucking sexual to him. But he was a Jordan. Jordan was like, "Okay, bro, LeBron," because there's this weird thing between Jordan and LeBron. And last year in the playoffs, they beat the Bobcats, which is not a hard thing to do. Bobcats actually made the playoffs. Jordan was chilling, and LeBron's like running on a fast break and just looking at Jordan and just dunked and just looked at him the whole time. So they have a weird thing going on. So Jordan was like, "Well, I want Lance Stevenson." So he got him on his team this year. He was like, "Okay, we'll pay you." They pay him $6 million a year. He comes in this year, and they're like, Jordan's like, "Oh, I'll show you. I can tame this fucking guy. We're gonna make him good, just to piss off LeBron, I think." So he sets a record this year. Lowest 3-point percentage by any player in history to shoot over 100. Lance Stevenson shot a whopping 17% from the 3-point line.
Why they let him shoot there?
While shooting almost 200 3-pointers.
Why they keep letting him shoot? No more threes, man.
So
Every time you
funny.
shoot a three, we're finding you.
Like, yeah, exactly. What's the point of that?
I'll make one of them, boss. I can do it.
What's the point of that?
Oh, my God.
I mean, I thought that was funny, but
that's horrible.
You don't know anything about what's going on. Today was yesterday was the beginning of the NBA playoffs.
Yeah.
Today is the
hockey playoffs
as of
started
right
the other
now,
day, too.
by the way, this is me prioritizing. The Cavs are playing right now, and I turned off my phone and my iPad, and he doesn't really care, but I care. I've watched every game this year, the Cavs.
It'll be there when you're done.
I know, it's on the DVR, but, there's some part of me that thinks the fact I'm not watching, like it actually physically affects the game somehow because I'm that powerful and I control the world. But they're playing right now, so I prioritized to put this podcast. And
that was very cavalier of you.
Well, well, thank you. But that's really the idea of this little segment. I wanted to address that because he hasn't been paying much attention to sports lately, and
yeah, it sucks too because I love sports. I love playing them, but I just can't root for any of these people.
I have this. This is
but I do like the Tigers. I have to admit, and I like the Red Wings.
This is a surprise segment I did not tell you about because you don't know what's going on in the NBA right now. Now I'm going to ask you. I'm going to give you a few teams, and I'm going to ask you to make some predictions, having no prior knowledge of what's going on. At all. Okay, so who would you take? Who are you going to take in the let's say the Bulls and Bucks series?
I'll say the Bulls.
Good call. See, you don't even know because you're like the Bucks just always suck. So I just assume the Bulls are better.
I know Derrick Rose is back.
Oh yes, he is. You did know that. Good job. Ching! You win.
I like him though.
Nothing. Yeah, he's cool, and he'll probably fucking tear his knee again. Oh, I shouldn't have said that. Oh, I feel bad because it happens every fucking 5 games. But anyways, let's go on. Do you know who Stephen Curry is?
Sounds familiar.
Okay. Well, to sports people, that would be funny.
What team is he on?
Well, it's the team's coached by Steve Kerr from the Bulls team. Does that help?
Is he on the Bulls?
No.
Where is he at? The Bucks?
Golden State Warriors.
Okay. How long has he been in the league?
He has been in the league, I think this is his 5th or 6th year.
Okay. I know I've seen the name, but I don't follow.
Okay. Do you know who James Harden is?
Mm-mm.
Do you know what the term fear the beard means?
Wait, is he that big black guy that has the weird beard?
Big. He does have the beard.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
He's not big, though. He's like 6'5".
That's big to me. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
In comparison to a normal person, yes.
I know who he is, yeah.
Okay. Let's see some other stuff that'd be fun. Well, you know the Spurs because they've been the same since the 1991.
They don't leave. They don't change.
I mean, Ginobili and Parker and Duncan and the rest of the people are, I don't know. I don't even know who they are. They just they create people. They have them like growing somewhere, like play defense, shoot threes, pass the ball.
Yep.
So who would you pick? I'm going to give you I'm going to give you a few teams here. I want to say who are you going to pick as the teams that are going to meet in the finals with no prior knowledge, really, of what happened this year. Because it's been a weird year.
I would say the Spurs and the Cavs.
I didn't even give you the teams to choose
from. And the Bulls and the Warriors. Is that possible?
No. Those would be 2 separate NBA finals. This is the losers bracket.
All right.
It's like fucking
give
Boy
me the
Scouts.
teams. All right, give me the teams.
So I'm going to give you 4 from the West and 4 from the East. And I'm going to tell you ahead of time so you know. Okay.
All right.
4 teams from the West that I would consider contenders would be Golden State. I would say the Spurs. I would say Houston. And that 4th team there is kind of hard. Memphis. I don't even know if you knew there was a team in Memphis right now.
Yeah, who do they have?
Who do they used to be? Who did Memphis used to be? Bryant Reeves. Big Country Reeves.
I know. I can't think.
Expansion. Canada.
Vancouver Grizzlies.
Yay! You win. Ding, ding, ding. Okay,
Are the
those
Raptors
are the 4
still
teams.
around?
Raptors are still around. They're in the playoffs. They did pretty well. On the East, we have who do you think had the best record in the East? I'm gonna get that one. Just guessing because it's been a weird season.
Chicago.
Oh no!
Who?
Chicago got the 3 seed. The number 1 team in the East is the Atlanta Hawks with no stars, which is weird. They're all just random guys.
Just decent.
Yeah. They had 4 guys voted to the All-Star game, despite only averaging roughly between 11 and 17 points.
So they just work good together?
Yep, they pass the ball like the Spurs because their coach is from the Spurs. The number 2 seed? Guess.
Cavs.
Yay! See, there you go. Good deduction. There you go. So that's really how you can play it on the East. Hawks, Cavs, Bulls, and I guess we'd say Washington. The Wizards.
So I'll say it's the Spurs and Cavs in the final.
Spurs and Cavs.
Yeah.
Good call. I'll remember that. And what are you taking them? Where are you taking the Spurs? Spurs in what? How many games?
Spurs will win in 6.
Spurs in 6. Woo! You really think so?
Yeah, because they're consistent.
So
It'll
you
probably
think,
be Tim Duncan's last year.
Yeah, if he won this year, if he stayed playing, he's a moron.
Yeah.
But
I think that's how it will go. And what's his name will probably retire with him.
Who? Ginobili?
No, has he been there long? Parker?
They've all been there around the same time. I mean,
I'd say Parker and him look like the oldest on the court. If they all 3 retired, though. Ginobili, I don't even ever really see him around.
Looks like the oldest.
Yeah, they should all just retire with the ring, and it would be a movie then.
Dude, they walk into the sunset, literally.
Disney already paid for this final to happen.
Yeah. Last year, there was
And it's Texas, too.
air conditioning malfunction in the San Antonio Stadium, and LeBron cramped up. They're going to do it again. They're going to make it 120 degrees in the stadium, and LeBron's going, oh, it's too warm. I got a bellyache. But then he'll score 40.
Mm-hmm.
But on that note, after our nice sports segment, the first ever sports segment, brought to you by Ferguson Sports.
Tonight, the Ferguson Groundfloppers take on the Atlantis Hawk. It's surely to be the spectacle of a century. It's going to be a real bloodbath. Jabron Lames is coming off a 72-game suspension after jumping into the stands and flopping on 4 unsuspecting children. What was even more shocking was the bewilderment that the foul was not called on the 4 children.
Get off me! Get off me!
Whoa, whoa,
that
whoa.
was a foul!
Hey!
Did you see that?
Hey, man.
Are you fucking blind?
Whoa!
Whoa! Watch, I'm about to take it to him. Oh, I'm backing you up. I found myself.
You can't foul yourself, man.
I
can't
twisted
do
my
that.
own ankle.
It doesn't count. Jabron, get over here.
Hey, what's the problem?
Jabron, I need more fouls.
More fouls?
I need more flops.
More flops.
I need to see it, man. I need you to flop like you've never flopped before.
I swear to God.
If my name wasn't Baby Delight, then I wouldn't know what I'm talking about. You got to get in there and show me what you
I'm
can
going
do.
to show you, Coach. I'm going to show you.
These people came here to see you flop.
Let's go.
Flop!
I'm going to take it to him, Coach. You're going to see. It'll be the best flop ever.
Maybe I shouldn't be doing this.
This is ground control to Major Tom. You've really made the grade. And the neighbors want to know whose shirt you
Yeah. You.
And we're back.
Yeah. Are we back?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, I wasn't sure. I was just stretching there.
We had a nice theme song coming
Yeah.
in. Good stuff.
Yeah. All right, we're going to continue our segment from last week. We don't know if anyone enjoyed it, but we sure did.
Oh, yeah.
The Misconnections.
Misconnections.
Where are we today?
Where are you?
We traveled to San Francisco, the home of open liberal minds.
And yeah, that's pretty much a good idea.
Yeah, here we go. Misconnections. Woman for man. No, man for woman. I read that wrong.
Oh.
Yes, I'm looking for a cute, sweet, and drop-dead gorgeous girl whose name is Dulce. She was the manager at Carl's Jr. in 1999 with Mary Lou.
What?
I don't flirt nor do I date, but I just was wondering, how are you?
1999? She must have made a hell of a cheeseburger.
Yeah, that's crazy. What year is it? That was 16 years ago.
That's crazy. He was just thinking in his head, like, maybe
How's Dulce?
she'll remember me.
Carl's Jr. had the best burgers. Only because Dulce.
Because of Dolce. She went on to be part of the marketing team. Maybe she's one of the girls that's eating the drippy burgers.
Mm-hmm.
Or she's just a fat chick with pimples all over her face.
All right, on to the next. All right, man for woman.
All right.
Mona the cowboy.
Oh, my goodness.
All right. All right. Mona the cowboy is the title. It's an M for woman. Location, San Jose. I've been thinking about you more than I should. Actually, I gotta say this in the way it's written. Capitals with exclamation mark. I've been thinking about you more than I should because it's... I have been thinking about you more than I should. Maybe it's because my life is such a lie.
That's all there is?
Yeah, that's it.
It doesn't mention anyone?
No, Mona the cowboy.
Mona the cowboy. Yeehaw!
Jeez, that's disturbing.
That was weird.
All right, here we go.
All caps.
This is a long one.
Okay.
All right, this caught my attention. M for W, age 30, Mission District. That sounds terrible just in itself. The Mission District. Maybe this should be read like that.
Yes.
Was about to say hi, but then I realized I was hallucinating. Hi, I'm looking for perfection. I'm pretty sure I saw you in my dreams last night. Perfection includes small nipples, great singing voice, psychoanalytical concerns about sexual orientation, dark wavy mane, disdain with capitalistic accomplishments, great dental hygiene, and ease with surgical procedures, hopeless longing for a spiritual life, nice toes and fingernails, sarcasm with a pinch of self-deprecation, natural body hair, but please not where there shouldn't be any, morbid attachment to sources of love but no real attachments, no protrusive moles, emotionally competent and perpetually but reasonably unstable, fixation over irrelevant errands, willingly uneducated about sexual acronyms, love seeker, ambiguity, edges, juice, beauty, contradictions, loves, pies, and paradoxes, subclinical narcissism, nice butt and tits, tolerant with overabundance of punctuation, no STDs, ESL, laugh out loud. I am a disaster made from perfection, a renaissance water, earnest, restless, ice cream, marimbas, pages, calves, fruit, parataxis. I hate any form of virtual communication. I love messages. I love psychosis. Currently lonely. I'm awkwardly beautiful and I know it. My mom and dad and all three of my ex-wives are pretty sure about it. Only the broken will want to help repair this.
Wow. Who responds to that? Who responds to that? Who responds to that?
I got lost. I think I became him for a moment.
I feel like I'm kind of creeped out just by being around you now. You said it too good. It was. I'm not even gonna. I don't even know what to address there.
You were listening. I was just reading it. So,
I guess the thing that stood out the most to me was the part about the marimbas and the ice cream. What the fuck is that about? Marimbas, ice cream. Terrible disaster. What is that, a prediction?
that's what he is.
Is that sounds like a prediction of like a tragic event? There was marimbas and ice cream.
All right. Next one.
Yeah,
This is the final one right
you
here.
guys can repick through that because that was so much information for me to even address, and
Here's the last
all
one.
kinds of terrible.
This is a man for woman,
Okay.
age 32 in Santa Cruz.
Yes.
Little horns, hippie at a flea market, happy treasure hunting. Got some things from you on Saturday. You had small horns. You had long brownish red hair. You told me happy treasure hunting, and I smiled. You're beautiful and have a sort of bohemian look. I was stocky with facial hair and a big smile. Doubt you will see this. I'm just hoping.
Oh, I feel like he...
Do you think it's the horns?
The devil?
Do you think... I bought some things from you Saturday.
The devil.
Wonder what the horn, if they were like the subdermal implants.
Yeah, it's probably just the little bumps.
That's
But either
weird.
way,
That's crazy.
you know, that's what I want. Like, okay, so you got to list the guys like, I need a girl with nice tits, button sized to go from that one guy.
Mm-hmm.
She has to have horns. Just a mandatory. I mean,
Yes.
It makes me feel, holy.
Horny.
Horny. That was what I meant to say.
It makes me feel holy. What's the good joke I can reach for here?
I'm missing it. Yuck, yuck. Okay, that was good.
All right.
Our wonderful segment will continue. It will always be because of the wonderful people in America. Thank you, America, for providing us with material as well as countless hours of laughter.
Well, that's it for our show. No?
No,
It's not.
you're not. False alarm. We're coming back. We're gonna come back, and we're gonna talk about something really deep and
Pariahs.
yeah, that's kind of the idea.
Self-inflicted wounds.
Yeah, when we come back, and we're also going to address
Madness.
marimbas and ice cream. So, with that being said, send you to our sponsors.
On the Ferguson Ultimate Extreme Network, it is
Have you ever had a tiger?
Yes.
I have one now. The woman with the diamond feet left a tiger on my doorstep. A misconnection that led to this.
What was this?
I am confused, betrayed, and bewildered. I am Ferguson.
Send the email.
Ferguson, flying high in the sky. Tickets to nowhere, maybe Dubai. The woman with the diamond feet can stray ever so far, but I'm Ferguson, and I know where you are. Ferguson, baby. Touchdown in the land of the sand. United States of where? Only me, my man. She's looking at me from a distance I see, but I'm blind, except for her diamond feet. I'm Ferguson, baby.
And he's ready for
What is America? America is a country that people are proud to be living in. But I'm not proud of this country anymore. The self-deprecation and madness that ensues in this country has come to a head.
Yeah?
Oh, sorry. That was my manifesto. That was
Something you're working on?
No, I got stuck into that mind of that wacko and that misconnection.
Yeah, because we're getting...
I feel like that should be the basis of everything.
We should find that person
I
and
would
have them be
rather
on
not-
the show!
No!
They'll kill us.
Kill us.
Murder!
Yes.
Button tits.
Do you like pies and marimbas?
Why does it stick out? Wait, no protruding moles.
That's
Out of
screwy.
all those random things.
Yeah, but I was telling you earlier this week, the new Daredevil show on Netflix is so incredible.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not going to spoil it for anybody.
I've not even watched any yet.
I know, but it's the darkest thing that Marvel's put out, and it's probably the best. Definitely.
Netflix. Oh, that's a Netflix original.
Yeah.
Netflix ruling our country.
I think
secretly.
I like that Netflix, though.
Oh, of course. It's a wonderful thing. Basically changed everything.
Did you hear about the new Full House coming out? Fuller
Are
House?
you fucking lying?
No, Fuller House is a Netflix original coming out.
Holy shit.
And it's Kimmy Gibbler and the other one, the oldest daughter. What's her name?
Fuck, I don't know, man.
DJ and Kimmy, all grown up in an even fuller house. But Netflix,
That sounds like JWoww and Snooki.
Netflix is the rebirth of our childhood. Like, I think if any show that you want to see, if you contact Netflix, like, I think they should bring Doug back.
It might be there. If it isn't there, you've
No.
checked? Okay.
There's
you've
no
checked.
Doug yet. There was a live action trailer that they made.
I mean,
That looked
I
incredible.
think it's not something that, for one, the people in Alaska if they had the internet, they would love Netflix. They're all watching 80s DVDs and shit. But anyways, people in Alaska, shout out, push for your internet.
They might hear this in 30 years.
They have to get satellite internet or something. They have to be like, Netflix, where's that company? No, Netflix will merge with Subway and Walmart, and we'll rule our government. But yeah, Netflix is a big part of a lot of people's lives. It's kind of crazy. It's like they could see, in theory, this is the conspiracy part of my mind, they could have like subliminal messages,
Government encoded messages
like
in
the
Netflix.
background. Just like streaming, like, and
Well, all the
everybody's-
movies are selected specifically that we can watch because each one contains a certain different government message.
Yeah, exactly. Like, okay. I was with a girl and we were sitting there and we were like, I want to watch this movie. Like, I have Netflix, Hulu, Amazon Prime, all those craps. And we're like, okay, well, let's check, maybe it's there. She searches. Oh, no, it's not there. There's items related to it. Okay, well, let's try just that genre. And I just what's something else? Literally like 40 minutes go by. This is 40 minutes of time we could have been watching a movie. Mm-hmm. But we're actually being the stupid Netflix people. We're the people looking for something. You don't go on Netflix and say, hey, I want to watch this. No, that's not how it works.
Do you think having too much option is a bad thing?
No, yes, it definitely is. But the idea is you don't come into Netflix with an idea of exactly what you want. You go into Netflix like, Netflix, tell me. And it's in your face, and you only have certain choices you can even choose from. You can't ever find the exact, if you're looking for something, it's never there. Mm-hmm. It's like it reads you, and then it says, oh, well, on Amazon Instant Video, you can buy it. Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
You know what's weird, though, about movies and me is, like, when I get sucked into the rabbit hole of trying to figure out something on Netflix to watch a lot. Yeah. But if I'm watching cable TV, if I just turn on the TV and something's on, I'll be like, oh, this is great. I can watch. I'm just going to watch this. But if that title was sitting there on Netflix, I'd be like, fuck that movie.
That shit. That's exactly how it is.
So I think that people should just try this on Netflix.
We're
now.
spoiled.
I think on Netflix we should both start trying this and other
Netflix
people.
roulette.
Yeah, just like just start it, and then it starts, and you're like, "Oh, great! This is wonderful."
That's actually how it ended up in this scenario. I'm like, okay, then okay. Roundabout, Jason Statham was in the initial movie that we were looking for. We kept going down the list
Chaos.
of all the things. Just listen. And I'm like, oh. And then we ended up watching, what the fuck is that movie called where he's like,
Homefront.
he's going to die if he doesn't keep his heart rate up?
Crank.
Yep. Not a good movie to watch with a chick.
Did you see Homefront with him?
No, I didn't.
That's really good. It has James Franco as a meth dealer.
Oh, I did watch that. That was great.
Yeah.
James Franco, man, fuck.
That movie I saw last night, True Story, it was amazing.
See, you had a choice. You can't go to Netflix and be like, hey, I want to watch this. And they're like, that's funny. That's funny you asked for something. We give it to you. You know, I was sitting there last night. This is why I even brought up this whole Netflix thing. Just because of this particular item. First thing I see, for some reason, it's my Netflix is always on, by the way. It's always sitting there on my Vizio TV from Walmart with built-in Netflix. And it's always on, just sitting there like, Kevin, where are you? Like, you ready to play some Netflix? I see it right there on the front, and I'm like, is that Vanilla Ice? Like, what is he doing? Like, he's doing something else? Okay. He's on something else. Mm-hmm. Now, the show...
Did you see Vanilla Ice goes Amish?
That's what it is.
Yeah.
Vanilla Ice goes Amish.
I watched it.
Now, wait. This is why it's funny to me.
Of all things, I watched it.
You watched it.
Yes.
Now, this is why it grabbed my attention. It wasn't that he was in this. Now, want to see why it grabbed my attention?
Did you watch it?
No.
Oh, my God.
Okay, listen.
I got to give you an idea
This is
of what
the
he does.
description that it said.
Okay, read it.
The first line.
All right.
Rock star home improvement expert. Vanilla Ice. What? I'm thinking in my head, like, out of all the things in the world that you're going to address him as, okay.
Because he already had a home
like,
improvement show.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
But you're saying, okay, so you're on Jimmy Kimmel or something. You're like, famous rock star home improvement expert. You would not think fucking Vanilla Ice is coming out. You just literally put Ice Ice Baby. That's it. Or fucking Fall from Grace or something like that. Rock star home improvement expert is not the best way to describe Vanilla Ice. Whoever wrote that, maybe he wrote it. Maybe he's like, I want to be known for something different.
Probably his manager.
But anyways, you say you've seen it, so I want to know.
Oh my God,
it's weird that you actually see that.
Because I knew it was going to be a train wreck of a show. Okay, I'm drawn to those kind of things. But God, it's funny because he was like, "Hey everybody, I'm Vanilla Ice." It's like, we're going to tear down this house and make it better.
That's what it was.
The problem is we have no power because we're in Amish country.
What?
And then he's like, I'm going to dress like an Amish guy so I can fit in a lot better.
What?
He's like, where am I going to plug in my phone in though?
Holy shit.
And it's like that whole thing.
This is real?
Yeah, and he's like, look at these, and he's never doing any of the work himself. And then he comes in like, oh, that was a lot of hard work, but I'm glad we can make this lady very happy. He's like, ooh, I'm Vanilla Ice. And then he does like a little move.
I'm Vanilla Ice. If I work too hard, I will melt.
He's like, do you know who I am, ma'am? She's like, no. He's like, and they cut away. He's like, she still love me though.
Did he do that a lot?
No, but he should have.
You just straight up did Barney laugh.
God, it was fucking
Oh wait,
horrible.
That's Krusty the Clown.
I don't know. It was bad.
I'm Vanilla Ice. Whoa, kids.
It was so bad, dude. And he looked like a fucking inmate walking around.
That makes me so happy that you've seen that. That makes all of this mean so much more. Okay. Never find what you're looking for. We got that. Now, also, there's the, Netflix, it's a double-edged sword here. Now, you can watch Netflix and watch something. Now, everybody feels this way, but nobody says it. No one has ever said this. Netflix can be two different things to you. It can be a way to go to sleep. By how do you do that? You watch something that you've watched so many times that there's no way that you would have to stay up.
Yeah, you can't be interested.
It's basically an ambience. For me, that is, It's Always Sunny. And for you, what would that be?
Well, like for instance, like Braveheart.
Oh, yeah. Well,
I've seen Braveheart.
That's boring as hell, too.
But it has the music.
That would be if Forrest Gump was on, I'd watch it.
But if I start like Braveheart up, right, and I'm trying to go to bed and I close my eyes, I can see the whole movie in my head because I've seen it so much.
That's how it is. You watch it so much, you have it. You just need the audio. You're like, oh, that part was cool. Did you go to bed and like it's played? It wakes. And then sometimes you might wake up towards the end. You're like, oh yeah, that was cool too. But, it could be used for that, but it's also very bad for insomnia because you could be that person that's like, oh my God, they got this new thing I want to see.
Daredevil, 13 episodes, I'm up till 5 in the
even
morning.
That. Way worse. How about a show that you haven't seen that has 180 episodes? And you're like, oh, then you watch one, you're like, oh, fuck. And it ties into my next thing is the burn notice theory, okay? Burn notice. While I was doing one of my albums, all over the place, burn notice, #1 show on television. And okay, this was way long time ago. And I'm thinking, who the fuck, what's burn notice? I ask everyone around me, roughly 30 people. They're like, I don't fucking know what burn notice is.
I watched it on Netflix.
So there was 30. Okay, wait, though. This is way before Netflix. This is when real TV. So I asked
if they would have said Bruce Campbell was on it, though, I would have watched it.
Well, see, that's the whole point, though. I literally surveyed 30 people that I knew. They had never heard of it. This is the #1 show on television. Okay, so it comes back around, and I seen it on Netflix 5-6 years later, and I'm like, we'll see what this is about. Well, I got sucked in, just like Mad Men. Fucking Mad Men, fucking whatever. Like
that might be one of the best shows ever.
Oh my God, Nick Offerman and fucking Don Draper, combine them. That's who I want to be when I grow up. Alcoholism, the manliness, and the overall just kind of what would be the word for it? It's not even about masculinity at all. It's just about like being oblivious to how things are and just setting your ways. So
also in charge.
In charge? Oh, in charge. Yeah, I guess you're right. Yeah. They're the coolest people. So
that's why they can be oblivious, because they don't.
There's also another cool thing about Netflix too. So this is another thing. Now, have you ever asked a chick to come and watch Netflix?
No.
Okay. Well, you don't understand. There's a secret code that exists now in modern society.
Have sex?
Yes. That's what it means.
Anything like that.
And this is what happens. Oh, yeah, watch a movie. Yeah, too. Okay, so this is what happens when people that are interested in each other watch Netflix.
What's funny is
you turn it on, you go through the whole thing of finding it. You're like, fuck, just pick fucking something.
At the point in this life, though, when I say you want to come watch a movie, I actually mean it. Like, do you really want to come watch a movie?
It still isn't happening with
There's
me.
so many movies on my list, on my shit that I gotta watch.
Honestly, I don't know if I've ever watched a movie with a girl.
I've
like
never
watching
movies.
them.
See, I like having. I don't know. I don't watch movies by myself really. I watch TV shows by myself.
It's in the
like
background.
TV series, But movies are like for relationships.
This actually just happened. The person that is involved in it will think this is very funny. But the movie goes, and we pick the movie, and we're like, okay, this is going to be cool. We're watching it like fucking 2 minutes or something into the movie. And you know what happens, with when people are in a bed watching something. Afterwards, the whole spectacle, which ironically kind of wrapped up about the same time. So the movie's over, our movie's over, and I turned to her and I said, pretty good movie. Had a lot of sex in it, though.
Talking about your sex.
Yes.
That's pretty good. I like it.
I win.
That's funny.
And she laughed because I'm fucking hysterical.
Mm-hmm.
That goes to that. And then on the other hand, we address the fact that there's not enough hours in the day. Ryan, how many things do you want to see right now? Just think about it.
Too many.
How many things do you want to be able to do? How many movies, how many TV shows are you behind on? Beyond actually real life.
Once I get to a certain point, though, I write it off.
Yeah,
like I know
exactly.
I'll never watch it.
I just watched Pineapple Express. Right at the beginning, everyone's like, "Oh man, you're a stoner. You need to watch this."
Well,
just seen it.
For some reason, like comedies, I love funny stuff, but if it's not like an exceptional comedy, I won't even watch it. Like 21 Jump Street and those two, like were
pretty
okay.
good.
They were okay, But see, that's like the lowest grade comedy I can watch almost. Like, and that was tough. Like, I watched the interview and only laughed a little bit.
I didn't watch it.
You know, I don't know. I like more the artsy classic films and the Wes Anderson type films and the
You're a
drama.
fucking hipster. I'm just kidding. You're not a hipster. No, you're the people that hipsters follow.
But I wonder if hipsters, though, you know how they want to be different in public as soon as they get home? Like, do you remember that movie Dead Man on Campus?
Yes.
Do you remember the weird gothic guy? But then he caught him in the bedroom and he was laughing.
Oh, yeah.
And he's like, "You're not going to commit suicide. You're happy, you fucking
son of
faker."
a fucking asshole.
Like the hipsters are eating seaweed crisps and fucking apple juice martinis in public and wearing their Abraham Lincoln beard, but they get home and they put on their Crocs, turn on the football game,
They're fucking hippies.
Eat their fucking, bowl of regular ice cream, and I don't know.
Regular ice cream brought to you by Walmart.
Ferguson's regular ice cream.
Great value.
No flavor.
Regular ice cream.
It's just a grayish
Sugar
off-color.
and ice. Sugar and ice.
Ah.
Okay. Well, anyways, I thought we did a really fucking ridiculously crazy show. It was all American. This was the all American episode of the Vherbal and Watson show, and makes me wonder what we're gonna do on the 4th of July, which we probably won't even address.
We'll just replay this one.
No. We'll actually, let's talk about another country. Let's talk about Canada or something. But on that note,
I'm Ryan Watson.
and I'm Kevin Vherbal.
See you next time!